Hey, I'm Andy Chanley from 88.5 FM in Los Angeles, and you are witnessing another here at home video teleconference interview. And today we're welcoming in Blu DeTiger. Howdy.
Hey, how's it going? Thank you
Doing
so much
great.
for having me.
Yeah, good to have you here. Uh, don't know what you say and you fly. It's an earworm.
You killed it. That was perfect. That's a perfect
it's yeah. I bet you've craved to have a cool dad quote back your lyrics to you. I'm talking about the song "Figure It Out." It's such an earworm, and if you're watching this video and you haven't heard it yet, what I want you to do is pause this for a moment, go listen to it, and come back, and you'll know what I'm talking about. Okay, go. All right, welcome back. That song's going to be in your head forever. There are like 8 hooks in that.
I mean, good. That's awesome. That's great to hear. I'm happy it's translating.
We played it on 88.5 FM here in Southern California, which you've been living out here for a while, but are you back in New York? I know you're from New York. Right?
Yeah, so I'm born and raised in New York, and before quarantine I was going back and forth to LA a lot just for music stuff, but I'm based in New York, yeah, and I've been living here the whole time since March, so
All right.
yeah.
This number one, I've heard that this is your first radio interview, at least in terms of the "Figure It Out" single. So I just want to tell you now, I'm sorry, because all the rest of them are going to. It only goes downhill from here. You're starting at the top.
They got the fresh exclusive.
I usually wait until later in the interview too to ask this question, but your bass chops are so good. And you're just 21 years old.
I'm 22 now.
22 now.
Yeah.
But you've already you've toured with the likes of Caroline Polachek, and you play bass in the LA band Kitten, and you've done all these videos and all of this stuff. Where does this work ethic come from?
I don't know. I mean, that's a good question. I've been playing since I was 7, and I always just was so into it. And I was practicing like hours and hours a day, just because I knew that I wanted to do it professionally. And I was just like a hustler. I think that also comes from living in New York, like always being busy, running around, playing in a bunch of different bands, gigging all the time. I was DJ. I still DJ, but I was like DJing like 4 nights a week at a point, like just crazy hustle and drive, just because I liked it. Like I genuinely liked doing it. I think that's what it is, which is the best.
Yeah. What do they say? If you find something you love for a job, you'll never work a day in your life.
Not working a day. Yeah, which I totally feel like I love the process of. I just love the process of like doing everything related to music, I guess. So it's been a really exciting time.
Yeah, there's a lot of satisfaction that comes with creating something. Whether you're a carpenter or you're a painter, at the end of the day, something exists that didn't exist when the sun came up is pretty gratifying.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it's been cool.
Something you said a second ago. You started playing when you were 7 years old. A, who does that? B, why the bass, and why were you gravitating towards the bass at that age?
Yeah, so my older brother, who's 3.5 years older than me, was playing drums at the time, and I was like, I want to play an instrument, like
rhythm section. Sure.
Yeah, rhythm section. And I remember I was 7, so who really knows what I was thinking, but I was just in my head thinking like every girl plays guitar and sings, like I want to be unique, I want to be different. So I went to Guitar Center and I chose bass because I just thought it was cool. And the rest is history. And now I play guitar and I play like other instruments and stuff, but I'm glad that I chose that as my first because it was different. So
Guitar Center, one of the $150 packages, yeah?
My favorite spot, I think I got, my first bass ever was a Gretsch, like an old school Gretsch.
Oh, nice.
So sick. It was really, really cool.
Do you still have it?
It's like literally the saddest story ever. I might tear up even talking about it, but I left it in the back of a taxi cab in New York City.
Oh, no.
Isn't that crazy? I know.
That is crazy because, I've left this. I've left this in so many Ubers. It's not funny. I mean, like the stupid amount of Ubers I've left, or cabs I've left my... But leaving a jazz master.
Like I don't even know, like, and he's also taller than me. Like I have really funny photos of when I was younger, like, because I played shows like CBGB and all these venues in New York when I was super young, because I was doing this program called School of Rock, so I got like all this performance experience when I was super young. But I have photos of me like standing and the bass is like taller than my head, and it's really funny.
That's amazing.
That's cute.
Playing CBGB when you're how old?
7. Like when I started, yeah.
7 years old. And your brother's 11. You're playing CBGB. That is not the preferred environment for raising a 7-year-old child. You have to grow up pretty quickly in New York City when you're in the village.
Yeah, definitely. I think like I was independent at a really young age. And also I'm lucky enough that my parents were always really supportive and raised me and my 2 brothers to always like follow our passions and do what we want to do. So I'm lucky in that way.
Yeah, and what better place to do it than Manhattan, for crying out loud.
Yeah, exactly. Just like creative energy around the city, like downtown Manhattan, like right at the center, you know? So I was always playing with, like when I was in middle school, I was playing with the high school kids. When I was in high school, I was playing with the college kids. You know what I mean? Like I was always just like there, you know?
Yeah. Well, it's smart to have, better people. Surround yourself with people that are better than yourselves. It's the only way you get better fast.
Exactly, yeah.
Talk to me. We're talking to Blu DeTiger, by the way. Talk to me about TikTok.
Nice, love it. My favorite topic.
Yeah. And by that I mean explain it to me. I'm a 52-year-old
totally.
man.
I mean, do you know what? Yeah, I mean, you know what it is. You know what it is.
I do, but you
definitely know what it is.
Your follows on there are or your likes on there are in measured in the millions. Hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people seeking you out there. I know that's how some of the people in the music industry first came to you, and you got on their radar as a blip, and they finally gotten savvy and said, oh, you have a following already. Okay, let's hitch our wagon to your star. And that's how you came to us, is them sharing the video that you had on YouTube, the most recent one for Figure It Out. But
right.
How lucky do you feel to be living in an age where, a pandemic can hit, and yet you can still be accessed around the world on, venues like TikTok?
Yeah, I mean, it's insane because I was about to go on this tour in Europe, and obviously, that got canceled and I had to come home. But it's crazy to think that I've definitely made more fans just sitting at home, doing these videos and connecting with people like individually and DMing people and messaging people than I would have on a tour like that, which is really insane to think about. Like the times have just changed really fast. But yeah, it's weird because as I was saying, I've been playing music forever, and this platform just really like accelerated putting me in front of a bunch of people at once, So it's been really wild. Like I posted my first video in March, and then I woke up the next day and I had like 100,000 likes, and I was just like, what? Like, how is this even, like that number is just like inconceivable. It's just like, it's that many phones is just ridiculous. So it was so weird. And now I've gotten way more than that. And it's still like, I'm like, what? I can't even comprehend. But yeah, so I was posting these videos and I just did it every single day during quarantine, which really kept me sane because I had like a routine. And I saw the numbers growing. So it was like really motivating, And then, yeah, I just kept doing it. I guess I really connected with people, and, people were like, I want to play bass too. And all these young girls were reaching out and saying how they were so inspired by my videos, which is like, the most heartwarming thing ever for me. Yeah. And then, then I put out Figure It Out, and the timing was just worked really well. Everything was kind of coming together at the same time. And then, it ended up that song was also really connecting on the app with, users on the app. And now that song has like 500,000 like videos made to it or something. So, I mean, I love TikTok. I think it's so cool. I think it's so creative. There's so many interesting people on there that are doing like things that I never would have like thought I would see.
Keeps kids off the street.
Yeah, but like the creativity level is really crazy. And I've met a bunch of I met friends through it, that I talk to online. Just like it's really opened a lot of opportunities. So
that's the interesting thing too. I mean, on one hand, you know, I would say it sucks that, like you said, there was a tour planned, you have an EP you're working on, putting the finishing touches on, and next step would be tour, you know, tour like crazy all summer long, all fall long, and just get in a bus and drive around and play everywhere and develop a following in different venues. You can't do that. So on one hand, that has to be disappointing to you. But on the other hand, it's like this has created some new efficiencies. Like, you know, I mean, I don't have to get up in the morning and put pants on. I'm doing my, you know, I'm wearing them, but you know, I mean, there are things that become easier along the way. This has to be, you know, an interesting, I mean, I know you don't know that much of a different way, but this has to be kind of cool that you're not just following in someone else's footsteps, but you're kind of having to figure it out every step of the way.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I was definitely really, really bummed that everything got canceled. And I miss performing so much because that's my thing. That's my favorite thing out of like all of the little things that you have to do as an artist. Performing is my favorite thing. So I was really, really bummed when all of that got canceled. But it was kind of a blessing for me because I found out this, you know, this new way to connect with people. And yeah, just figuring out how to connect online with people as opposed to at a show was like really interesting and special, I think. Like, no pun intended when I say figure it out.
You figure it out, yeah.
I figured out like how to do it. Yeah, but a lot of new art. Yeah, I know. Every time now I find myself saying that phrase all the time, and it's so funny.
You've got to have merch. You've got to have figure it out.
I know. I gotta just have like
t-shirts and coffee mugs. Figure it out.
I know. It's a good catchphrase. But yeah, it's been a really special time. Like, I wouldn't change anything now, looking back. You know.
Well, what's crazy is, you know, even not being able to do those things, I look at the charts, the industry charts and the trade magazines, and I was just looking yesterday at the alternative chart, and it's like Fontaine's DC, The Killers, Blu DeTiger. Wow. You know, without any touring behind this, any of that stuff, you know, your arrow is pointing straight up.
That's awesome. That's really cool to hear. Yeah, I don't know. I'm excited. I'm excited to go back and tour, though. That's why I made those, you know, the live video we put out on YouTube, just because I wanted people to be excited for when the tours do start happening, you know, and just get like a little taste. So that was fun to do. Yeah, I'm finding different creative ways to kind of pivot in this time, you know.
Well, I want you to, for these new people that are finding you, I want you to out yourself. I want you to tell us something that we would be surprised at, that you crochet, or you like samurai movies, or you're you know, a foot model or a licensed helicopter pilot. What do we not know about you that we would be surprised by?
I always say my fun fact. Like, when people ask my fun fact, I say that I attended a ping pong training camp, like professional ping pong training. I swear this is not a joke. I did this in New York a summer, and I was really into, like, I thought I was gonna go pro at ping pong.
Wow, so you got good topspin?
I'm like very talented at ping pong. So that's my big thing, guys. Take it or leave it, you know. Use it as you may. But that's my fun fact that not many people know.
I love it. All right, final Miss America question. What do you think you'd be doing now if music weren't possible? If music wasn't a thing?
Oh, wow, that's so hard to say. I guess art, another form of art, like drawing or ceramics or sculpt, some sort of like visual art.
Some creative outlet.
I'd be doing some sort of creative. I think I couldn't not be creative.
Well, something tells me you kill it, whatever you ended up doing. You got to go listen to the song if you haven't already. It's called Figure It Out, and there's so many other videos to go back and catch up on. Catcher and Kitten, Catcher on tour when that's possible again. And I'll tell you what, next time you're out in LA and we can finagle it, we can socially distance, we got to have you in the studio to play some songs for us.
Yes, I'd love that. That would be awesome.
Awesome. Well, it's been a lot of fun today. Thanks for joining us, everybody, for this 88.5 FM here at home with Blu DeTiger.
Thank you so much.
Take care.